down, and as of this morning, Melbourne time, Israel has rolled in the tanks and the bulldozers into the refugee camps of Gaza. That's right, shame. But it's not enough just for us to say shame now, we need to do something about it. The over 400...
Palestinian has to pay because of the ongoing Israeli occupation. Alas, it is a constant reminder of the injustice imposed by man against fellow man. Brothers and sisters, fellow Australians, a distinction must be made between the violence of the oppressed and the state violence and terrorism. The Palestinians who even after 60 years of dispossession, statelessness and displacement are still refusing to raise white flags, are holding on to their land and national rights, and are standing steadfast to defend themselves against an illegal and abhorrent colonial regime that usurped their homeland, destroyed their society, and killed their sons, daughters, and children, imprisoned its men and women, stole its history, and left them languishing in their millions in refugee camps in Palestine and across the Middle East. Rather than blaming the victims for speaking up against being led like sheep to the slaughterhouse, due blame and punishment must be placed on the oppressor and tormentor, who disregards even the most elemental of human rights and universal human dignity. There is no precedence in history, in modern history, where a people ever consented to the theft of their homeland, and the people of Palestine are definitely no exception. These professional propagandists have also claimed that Palestinian fighters are hiding amongst civilians. Palestinian fighters do not hide among civilians. The Gaza Strip is not the mountains of Tura Bora in Afghanistan, and is not Vietnam's jungles. This small strip is the most densely populated area on the face of Earth, the vast majority of whom are themselves refugees, including myself, who have been dispossessed and displaced in refugee camps, standing witness to Israel's original sin. Life, I must emphasize, is precious and worthy of living and must be protected. But this stark disparity is only the tip of the iceberg of Israeli crimes against the Palestinian people and their total disregard for Palestinian life and dignity.
Then eventually we'll have to change.
Other Western allies, including Australia, when America and its other Western allies, including Australia, backed up Israel and its crime against the Gazans, they proved to the world that they are a people full of double standards and biases. In George Bush's statement regarding the rule of Saddam Hussein, he said fair trials were unimaginable under Saddam Hussein's
not escape our politicians, our journalists, and the wider community who want to make sense of the ongoing Israeli atrocities and Palestinian retaliations to it. The current Israeli bloodbath has come on top of a crippling siege to which 1.5 million Palestinians in Gaza have been subjected as a collective punishment in contravention of the Geneva Conventions. They were punished for electing the wrong political party, and in an attempt to entice people to topple the democratically elected government. When the blockade, frequent violations of the truth, and the starvation and deprivation of much needed basic necessities failed to produce the desired outcome, the next step followed, the manifestations of which are the horrific atrocities being committed against the beleaguered and destitute Gazans. And one wonders why has the rest of the world failed to stop this ongoing suffering and gross injustice? An affront to divine and secular laws. Why has the rest of the world failed to enforce United Nations resolutions and international law? How can the rest of the world turn a blind eye to the brutalities and criminal behavior of the Israeli Zionist state and its military? Questions so many of us keep asking. Prime Minister, given Rudd's sorry speech to indigenous Australia, which touched the hearts of millions of Australians, gives us not only inspiration, but also a way out of this seemingly unsolvable conflict. To a future based on mutual respect, mutual resolve, and mutual responsibility. A future where universal human decency demands acknowledging the immense grief, suffering, and mistreatment inflicted on past and current generations of Palestinians.